Hey guys, how's it going? Markel here, back with another video. Hopefully you guys are doing well today. With that being said, it is Monday, time for Q&A, so let me answer a couple questions that were left behind. Let's start with the most recent one, where someone left a question regarding protected work environment with Social Security. Now, I put information out there, but if you're looking for confirmation, you need to go to Social Security and let them know what you are doing, all right? Do not rely on people on the internet that tell you anything, because they're not the ones who either say yay or nay. They're not the ones who are okay with it for you to continue to get paid, or the ones that say, no, you didn't tell us anything and we're just gonna take it, okay? So whenever you're getting ready to do something, you wanna go to the source and make sure you're doing it the correct way. Don't just start working and you haven't talked to Social Security, you haven't talked to anyone, you're just doing it on your own because you see it on Social Security's website. Well, one of the things on Social Security's website is to always contact them first before you do whatever it is you're thinking about doing. So in this situation, I would recommend that you contact Social Security first, let them know what you're getting ready to do, and then take the proper steps in order to do it, okay? Don't just do something on your own because I said this is what a sheltered work environment is. That's what's on Social Security's website. But I don't make the decision of whether or not you get to keep your Social Security or you lose it because you decided to go back to work. That's a issue for Social Security. So contact them, tell them what you're doing, let them advise you on what you need to do from that point forward, and you should be fine because they're telling you to do it. Not relying on someone online that's giving you information, because again, I don't make the decision for your Social Security. Okay, next question revolving 100% and being eligible for benefits. Okay, now I talked about this in the past. I don't believe I have a video dedicated to this, but I know I've talked about this probably on 2 or 3 different occasions, and that's this. Just because you're 100%, okay, that does not mean you're entitled to every single benefit out there, all right? There are certain benefits, because your particular question was about the housing grant, right? And I put the link in the description for you to understand how to qualify for the housing grant. Just because you 100% does not qualify you for the housing grant, the auto grant, certain loans that, not loans, but other grants that the VA gives out. Just being 100% is not enough, okay? Normally people who are in those categories are in the special monthly compensation category, meaning your disabilities are so bad that they got to go above and beyond 100%. Now, in some cases, they do leave it off, and there have been people in the past who have applied and were awarded the benefit because for whatever reason, the VA didn't either give them the benefit that they were entitled to, or they just recently became qualified for it. So there are people out there who are entitled to it that should apply, even though it's not on their award letter. But generally speaking, you're normally in the special monthly compensation category in order to be awarded those benefits. I'm not telling anybody not to apply if you believe you qualify. But if all you got is like a sprained ankle or sprained wrist, and you're talking about qualifying for the housing grant, it's like, no. You know, you'd have to have things like loss of use, you lost your limbs, certain burns, females, you know, breasts, you lost your breasts, or things along that line. But just being 100% is not enough for every benefit that is out there, okay? All right, and then the last one, where I was gonna start doing financial stuff next month. Now, I'm not gonna be talking about the market. I'm not gonna be talking about what you should invest in. That stuff you gotta do on your own. Like Blank Slate, I'll talk about that. And Warrior has spoke about it in a video. But I've said this many times before, okay? Investment is still gambling. I don't care, there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee in investments. There's no guarantee in day trading. All of that is gambling, okay? You're taking a chance. Now, some of it is a pretty safe bet. I wouldn't call it a guarantee, but it's safe. But I'm not going to talk about that, right? I'm going to be talking about basic stuff because I'm going to show you guys how I save during the year to get stuff that I want, right? And situations like I talked about with the ATM on the last live that I did, okay? Where, you know, there are some people who are still under this belief that cash is the best way to go. Well, in certain situations, if it's going to offer you a big enough discount, yeah, I'll pay cash just like anybody else. But on a normal, regular basis, no. Let me give you guys a prime example of what I'm talking about, okay? So as most of you all know, I've been living in Colombia over 5 years now, right? Going into next year in February or March, it'll be 6 years, all right? So normally when you travel overseas, you have to go to your banking app and then you put on where you're traveling from, date to date, right? Well, in my first year here, every month I would have to put in to carry over from month to month, right? When I first moved here. In the last 4, almost 5 years, I haven't set any travel dates because they know I live here, right? Once the bank knows you live here, they no longer pay you for the other bank's fee. I don't know if you all are aware of that, right? Navy Federal, USAA, Pentagon, or any of them, once they realize you live outside the country, right? That fee you would normally get where they would pay that bank's fee and your fee, no. They're only paying your fee. They're not paying the bank's fee, which is another reason why I don't want to carry cash. The banks here, for example, they charge anywhere from $3 to $4. And then Navy Federal charged me $198 for the service, and then they'll charge $1 for the ATM fee. So they're charging about $3. So anytime I go pull out money, it's usually about $7. Out of that $7, I'm only getting $3 of that back. So why would I go to the ATM? It makes no sense to me, right? Again, people will say, oh, well, street food's cheaper, this is cheaper. In the long run, I don't see how. Because you're spending an extra 30 bucks every month, unless you got another way you're getting money where you're not being charged. Because I know no one who lives overseas that has an American bank account where their money's going to an American account, they're not getting charged some kind of fee to get their money. You're being charged a fee. So for me, my remedy to avoid all the fees, not worry about any of it, is to pay with a credit card. And then here's the other question, and I'm done with it after this. How do you pay the people who work for you? PayPal. Their salary is structured so they receive money through PayPal. So if they got to pull money out, which the Colombian rate is a much lower rate than the American rate. You guys got to remember, when you're living in another country, everything is predicated on that country, not where you're coming from. So if you're living in another country and you're still using things like you're in the United States, you're paying way more than you have to, okay? And I'll talk about that in an upcoming video. But I pay them through PayPal. If you were to take money out PayPal in the States, what is it, $7, $8 to take out money? And then whatever other fee they got, here is less than 80 cents. So let's say I'm paying somebody $100 a week. I would just pay them $102, right, as part of their salary. So that way they don't lose the $100. They're just being charged $1.60 to take the money out. They're not losing anything. And it's way cheaper for me than me going and spending $7 to give them $2 as part of their salary. You guys understand what I'm saying? So I'm not losing anything on that, where you keep going every month to the ATM, pulling out money, thinking it's cheaper because you're buying street food. You're going to the mom and pop. You're going to the butcher. It seems cheaper, but you're not adding all the fees up. You're not adding the ATM fees to every time you pull money out. This is more money you lose every month. You do $30 over a year, that's $360. What could you not do with $360? You couldn't use that extra $360 right now? That's all I'm saying, man. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about being in this country, having everything hooked up in this country, credit cards and everything else, because the rates are totally different. And I'll explain that more in the next video. But until the next time, guys, that's going to be it. Peace.